guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast. It is a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. On this episode, we are joined by Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. We are honored to have our co-hosts, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast. Hey, Sambaza. He is from the Republic of Kenya. He has established himself as a distinguished voice in the podcasting community. His work has been recognized with 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA, along with a nomination for Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards. He also has been a featured presenter at the Afros and Audio Podcast Festival, and he was a contributor at the 2025 Podfest. Welcome, Sambaza.
Thank you, Jen. How are you doing today?
Good. Welcome, everyone. Another show.
And we're live on TikTok and Clubhouse. On Clubhouse is East African Excellence, and on Sambaza podcast on TikTok. That's where we're at. Actually, TikTok has been purchased, right?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see what's interesting in that. And how's the week been so far?
Pretty good. Exciting week. We have some travel coming up, so excited about that. I actually gave myself an extra day to prepare for the travel day on Friday. So, I'm gonna do some self-care, pampering, and get the hair done, and get ready and double, clean up and make sure everything's nice and tidy.
Carry a lot of tissue for the cries. The last one. For those who missed the show last week, we talked to Talib Jasir, and he was telling us that this was going to be the last Afros on Audio. I'm crossing my fingers that that's not the last, but we talked about it and said we're going to go ahead and hang out and kind of enjoy ourselves, as this might be the last time we'll be together as a group. So I think most of the people who have been there will come and say hellos and kind of hang out and do things that we normally do, but it's going to be different this time because as he said, this was going to be the last one. He also did another interview after hours, and I didn't see it. I just got a glimpse of it on on Instagram, but I assume it's nice. But I'm excited to see you again, like last year. This time we're not going to have those issues that we had last time. Remember the last time when we were there, we had to go. I hired a car and I was staying so far.
No.
It was fun. What's funny? I should contact the lady who talked who came on the show about what was it?
No, the interpreter.
Yes, the Jamaican.
Does she live out there?
Yes, she does. She was running on that 5K.
That was her. Okay. Yeah.
Getting her name. She's supposed to be my sister podcaster. But
you should send her a message. I have it in my phone. I can send it to you.
Okay. I know where to find her, but it's just that I don't know why I forgot. Well, hey. But anyway, that was what happened. So Jen and I got lost, and the funny thing is
you got lost.
Essentially, we were lost in terms of we were trying to get to a location. Everywhere was closed. So each time you turn around, you try to get somewhere, it was closed. And I was trying to reach you.
And why was it closed? I think that's kind of the significance.
The half marathon was going on at that time. So this time I'm staying like 0.3 miles away from the location, the place where we're going to be doing the conference, which is Flagpole House. And you're staying in the bougie hotel.
So we should be able to meet on the corner, or walk over, whatever will be.
Hey, I'm gonna have breakfast at your spot. So
thanks for putting that on the broadcast.
Why not? Hey, free breakfast. Why not? I'm in it. I'm gonna be in
But
there.
no, to frame that, and thank you for making arrangements for the other additional platforms. We are discussing attending the Afros and Audio Podcast Festival, which is created by Talib Jazir, who was a guest on last episode. So if you haven't caught that, check out the replay on YouTube. The audio version will be coming very soon. And so, yeah, we are going to attend this actual conference. So it's exciting because the lineup of speakers is very robust. It looks like it's going to be a great program. A lot of people coming for the first time, even though it's the last. I think it will be very rememberable, and it'll be an exciting time for all of those first time attendees, a lot of them speaking, and so that's really exciting.
And I'm just hoping that might create a start of something else, that we probably will come back again and something else might come off of it. Maybe somebody will get this great idea and crowdfund and create one of their own. Because remember, the guys in Baltimore, the ones who we met at Podfest, had something going on. So maybe they could talk and bring it together.
Oh, they had their own meetup, right?
Their own meetup, so they could
Right.
do a meetup and kind of make it another thing like that. And you can create anything that's possible, because
For sure.
we want to party and we want to. Well, it's not really a party, but we want to meet up and kind of meet each other again. And and when it's all black, and we welcome other people, but when it's all black oriented, there's something special to it.
Right. And then everybody has their own area expertise. We have audio professionals. We have, people who specialize in AI and, all of the things, creative, narrative, podcasting. Just everybody has their own, particular set of skills, and they come together, to learn and, have these presentations to, people really can get a lot of information and education from it.
Right. And it's a wonderful thing. It's one of the, well, like I said all the time, it's one of the best things that could have happened in terms of getting an African American representation with podcasting and bringing all the podcasters together. So if you're in Baltimore and you have time, Afros and Audio is available to you. So go ahead and join us over the weekend. The tickets are priced well. Afros and Audio, just go ahead, join in, hang out with us just for one day. I tell you, Saturday is the best day. So come on over, hang out. And we also have a party in the evening. You can come join us and party in the evening with the podcasters. And yeah, it'll be dope. That's probably.
For sure. And so we do have a topic. Now, the topic was inspired by our conversation that we had with Talib. So we'll introduce that before you share an affirmation with us. So our topic for today is the side hustle culture burning us out? Okay. So we will explore this question. Many creators and entrepreneurs are asking themselves, is the side hustle still a path for freedom, or is it just another source of burnout? We always hear these conversations about having multiple streams of income and that side hustle and that hustler mentality, right? And so, like I said, inspired by our conversation with Talib, who is the founder and spearhead of this great event and wears a lot of hats, with being the creator and founder. So we're going to explore, in light of that conversation, how passion projects and creative independence can both empower us and exhaust us, from balancing healing, hustle, home life, to finding purpose beyond productivity. So we're going to briefly touch on the emotional, mental toll of doing it all. I feel like people can relate to this mindset of getting things done, but also sacrificing maybe projects or relationships or just things that you desire in general, and because of that. So that's our topic for today. And
yeah, we'll start with the affirmation here. And the affirmation of the week says, I make decisions that always lead to something positive in time. I'll repeat that again. I make decisions that always lead to something positive in time. How you like that?
Okay, thank you for sharing that. We definitely want to continue the practice of sharing a affirmation to promote positive mental health behaviors. So, what else do you have to share?
Oh yeah, we got our African proverb of the day, and the African proverb says, "A bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anthill is still on the ground."
Hmm.
Let me repeat that again. A bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anthill is still on the ground. Have you ever seen an anthill? Those anthills, when you
No.
see anthills, those
Hmm.
things are huge. The termites make it huge. It can even be as tall as
Oh, so
yeah,
you're saying like an ant hill as though the hill that the ants have built
yeah,
and
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Got it.
Those that one. Yeah. So yeah, if a bird flies and then lands on one, it's still on the ground. Um, I don't know. That one's really interesting because even if you're high up there, I'm going to equate it to like if you got to remain humble, and you always realize that even if you go up and stop at a location like on an anthill, right, it's still part of the earth. So you're not obscure to being on earth.
Okay.
So it's going to be
Yeah,
on earth. So you have to still mind your roots.
sure.
So you
And
might
at
go,
any moment,
huh?
right, at any moment you can be brought back down, you know.
Right. And when you're
Yes.
sitting up there, you're still in touch with the ground. You're not gonna be isolated to whereby you will not see you'll not see Earth, or you'll not be able to have a link to the other people. So be humble. What do you think about that?
Okay, I think that's a good message to share and something to think about. So, nothing wrong with having a reminder. I try to remind myself all the time not to get too comfortable in any situation, whether it's, a work situation or, even in your relationship, still challenge yourself to be better, show up as your best self and not get too comfortable. So,
And it actually ties into to today's stuff about when we talk about side hustles, because people want to get the side hustles, and you want to try to get your side hustle. Oh, today's about side hustles, and we're talking about the how it can get you up there, and it could also have issues with how you have gotten yourself there and how you feel when you're up there. You know, are you in touch with the ground, like the way the bird on the anthill is still on Earth and has to remember that?
mhm.
Um, we start, you know, side hustles came about, trying to get a second income, people trying to make extra money. And some of these side hustles will start off as side hustles and then will end up being something that you go into and say, you know what, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go ahead and figure out my side hustle. It might start like like an embroidery business, small thing here and there, and the next thing it blows up. Some people during the pandemic, actually, that's what may have happened to a lot of people. They did their side hustles and put it out there, and within no time, they switched jobs and said, you know what, I'm not going to be working for this company, and I'm going to do my side hustle, which is bringing more money than what I'm earning, plus the fact that it gives you more freedom. Okay, now
Mhm.
let's start from the beginning about capitalism and industrialization. This is where everything started. Productivity equals value. Oh, by the way, and I'm going to add something else about a class I'm taking. I'm always taking classes. Education never ends. So long hours and work ethic became moralized at that time when people started this industrialization and capitalization, where you had to make more money, and people were told, you have to work hard, and you work hard, you go up the ladder. This laid the foundation of associating rest with laziness, hustle with worth. So the corporate America enforced it with slogans like, rise and grind, you gotta put in all effort. glorifying endless output and also loyalty to the job. So you had to be loyal to the job. Um,
Right.
coincidentally, Goldman Sachs,
Hmm.
you could get fired at Goldman Sachs if you're an intern. On the first day, they'll check and see what time you leave on a Friday.
Hmm.
The later you leave, that's when you'll have your job on Monday. They watch you. These people be like, "Oh, it's Friday, let's go out." Okay. I don't hate Gen Z, and let me stop pointing out to them. But the younger generation will be like, "Oh wow, it's Friday. I've worked so hard. Let me go hang out with my friends for drinks and do that over there." When you do that, that's loss of your job, and you're not going to see a job, and you have to work extra hours. So they have created this culture where you have to work hard to be recognized and to survive. So it's a cutthroat environment, and this is what brings about that idea, like we say in the beginning, the the side hustle mentality, where I gotta put in long hours, I gotta do all this, and
Right.
also we have this thing, pull up your bootstraps narrative, which is linked to also self-worth and economic achievement. But is it good for us? I think that's a topic that you want to explore, and I think I'll leave you
Right.
to take over and tell us, what you think about the influences of this grand culture that have caused in our lives.
Definitely. And this part, touches in on the woke part. So I thought this was really interesting, that survival, resilience, and representation that our people, that really resonates with historically with our people. So Black people in America have had to work twice as hard to access some of the same opportunities due to systemic racism and those type of events. Economic survival, generational poverty has made overwork a form of protection and pride. So that proof of resilience and determination evidences itself. And then we can take it back to the civil rights and Black Panther eras, where there was an emphasis on economic independence, the push and encouragement of Black businesses, which carried into the modern Black excellence. Okay, and then which is really a movement in itself, and then we are starting to see more of encouragement to buy Black, support Black women, small businesses again. So I thought that part was interesting. There was a talking point about the immigrant communities. I want to see what you thought about that. Um,
Yeah, with the immigrant community, well, that you pack a lot when you say that, because in my view, when you're an immigrant, side hustle does not come in the beginning part. You start your side hustle after you settle down. There's so many intricacies that come in with settling in a place. You first have to get used to, there's the language, there's the nuances, there's the your neighborhood, the money, and all that. So you have to learn all that plus the culture. Once you get around that, then you can start considering the side hustle. And
So, so I mean, so you're taking the side hustle literally. So it's like almost like a culture and mindset too, whether you have an actual side hustle or not. It's just that hustle grind mode where, maybe you haven't actually launched your side hustle. You've got another thing behind your main thing. So I feel like the mentality, which is the part that can be taxing when you start getting into the labor intensive tasks that are involved. You know what I mean?
so that part, you touched
Okay.
you touched, touched on something very important. So now
Yes.
this is what happens when you come into the country and you're an immigrant. The first thing you want to do is, like you said, hustle, hustle, hustle. All this bootstrap and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Personal experience. I used to work a lot. I generally worked. I never looked at um, time off.
Okay.
until you are told, hey, you know what, you have all these off days you have to use, otherwise if you lose them, if by the end of the year you're going to lose them. And I was like, what am I going to do with it? So then
Right.
you start now putting them on your birthdays, and then you start putting them on any other day. You don't really do much because you say, look, I came to this country to work and make money. That's what you're thinking of. So you're working every single day, and if you have another job, you get another job. That's where it becomes, you always, you're trying to create you're trying to create an ecosystem that will be able to feed back home, uh,
Okay.
to keep the people, just keep them up and keep the economic situation high. Most of the people come here, I'll say, are like economic refugees. You're trying to get
Okay.
somewhere to make money, and then you send back home so that people can move forward. So that is one of those things that, yes, you put your mindset into just working, 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 never turn around and look at stuff.
Mm.
Thank God the people I met along the way had me realize, look, yes, you have to take some days off. You have to, take some breaks here and there. You also, when you have a family, that also changes your lifestyle, because
Mhm.
then, you get used to kids going for these winter breaks. What's that thing in the March?
Oh, spring break or?
Break, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So then, as you get along, you now start having to carve yourself within your kids' idea or lifestyle, or the idea of being an American. You enjoy these things. Um,
Okay.
Thanksgiving, there's Christmas. Those days you take off, which till today, I don't think I can count the number of times I've taken off for Thanksgiving. I think it's not more than five. I've worked on Thanksgiving, like even in the morning or at night or something like that. But I'll work
Okay.
on that particular day just to make some extra money. And I think I may have some regret right now, because
Mhm.
I was twice I had been invited to Atlanta to go hang out with my friend's mom and brother, and their family, his rest of his family. I call him my brother from another mother, and I
Mhm.
never did that. And there were twice they told me they were meeting over there, and I could have gone there. And life has changed, but I would have, now when I look back, I'm like, I could have shared those memories with them, and had that. But this is what it is.
Mm.
But on the flip side, I think I can say that that's what happens to most of the immigrants. So, like I said, that hustle thing,
Mhm.
of trying to, you know, do it 110%, because you know where you're coming from, and you feel guilty that if I take a rest, I'll be kind of, it's like I'm not supposed to take a rest. This is here. I'm here, and I'm put in all that I can with
Mhm.
the energy that I have. Yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's interesting that you have that perspective. I mean, coming from an immigrant community, that resonates with you. So that I wanted to hear you share that. But I mean, I guess at this big grown age, you work in corporate America, even in the nonprofit sector too, you realize that, you need to use your time. You know what I mean? Even if it's just to sit at home and clean up or catch up on television, you earn it. And if you fall ill, you will be replaced so fast. You know what I mean? And, you know, so you just kind of, you start realizing how important it is to value yourself, being a worker too, definitely want to be a great, have a good work ethic and things like that. So,
Yeah, and when you said you'll be replaced, um, may he rest in peace. Raila Odinga, he's the father of the resistance movement in Kenya. Um, I don't know if you've known him. He was actually on CNN today. He passed on yesterday.
you're
Um,
kidding.
he did, yeah, unfortunately.
Oh.
And right now they're not showing it, but it's unfortunate to say within 2-3 weeks, they will have moved on, and the politics will start. Somebody trying to be the kingpin, the next kingpin, jostling around, trying to figure out who's going to be the leader of the movement of trying to get ahead. So
Right.
all these things will be there. Yeah, memories will always be there, but
Right.
the functionality, they move on. Corporations will always move on from you. So that's one of the things that we have to learn. As big as you are, or as small as you are, wherever you are, once you check out, they'll forget about you. No, not forget about you. They'll have your memories etched in you and talk about you. But the functionality, it has to move, so they'll keep moving. That's the only constant thing that is there. And I think this Friday, like we're talking about, I'm just going off topic for a little bit, and that's why this Friday, when we were in Baltimore, I was thinking about hopping over to the One Mic show and hang out with them for a second,
Okay.
because they're dedicating that particular show on
Oh,
Mr.
are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are. So it's going to be great. If you have chance, just go to One Mic Show on Facebook or YouTube, and they're out there. They're going to be talking about this guy. If you really want to know about him, he has a great past, and yeah, he did his thing. I mean, when you talk about hustling, yes, he did
Mhm.
his hustle.
And what is
He
his name again?
Raila Odinga.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta know him. If he was on CNN, to be on CNN,
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't get onto CNN just like that. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
it's
Yeah,
one of
I
the people.
know I've heard you mention that before, but yeah, I didn't realize he just passed. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah. So back to what we're talking about, the mental and emotional cost of having to do this side, this hustle, and this thing about trying to be at the top, working hard,
Mhm.
chin up, pull up your socks, bootstrap, tighten your bootstrap and everything. Jen, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Well, before we go there, I wanted you to share some of those points about the influence or the significance of the digital era in this mindset too,
Oh
because I mean,
yeah.
it's going to change, like you said, from how capitalism and industry, now it's all about the digital age, but it's still that mindset.
And I think each phase that we're on, if it's the
Hmm.
industrialization, the digitalization, every person finds a way of, the thing that's constant, those synonyms, or the those words, the affirmation words,
Hmm.
pull up your socks, do this, do that, all that, they still stay there. Those are always going to be there. They're like the catchphrases,
Okay.
of the management, to
I don't
make
know if they
you
say pull up your socks, but
what, pull up your socks.
no, who says pull up your socks?
That's British people say that. I know, I've
Oh,
been
do
told.
they?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause, most of the time they always have their socks up. They have something interesting, garters. Have you ever heard of a garter?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's why they have garters to hold the socks up. That's why they tell you pull up your socks. So the reason why socks
Okay.
don't have any garters. Anyway, back to that. So now we got social media now, YouTube, TikTok,
Mhm.
and then that also blurs a lot of lines between your personal and your personal and your work, right? Because
Right.
depending on how or what you're doing at that particular time, you have to kind of figure out if you work, especially if you're working around social media. It's really hard to kind of get off from the social media to your regular stuff. There's that thin balance where it's like, um yeah, and then content hustle, trying to get content out there. This is very this is big, especially if you are in the news and you're trying to
Okay.
scour information. There's
Hmm.
that. Am I trying to be the first person to get the information, get the news, be out there, be the first one? So, to become credible, like everyone wants to know if something has happened. Guess where you go to now? You want to go to check on CNN,
Mm.
BBC. Um, those are the Reuters,
Okay.
and Al Jazeera.
Right.
Those are the
Right.
four places you'll go. Why? Because they have the content, they'll get the latest stuff and they'll put it out there and they're trusted. So you want to be that person in your industry, and then what are you going to do? You're going to be up to date with all the stuff, and then you're going to be searching for content, great content.
Mm.
That takes time. And
Right.
people say, we always tell people, hey, you know what, you want to do podcasting? Yes, come on, do podcasting. But podcasting is a lot of work on the back end. But it's fun,
It
um,
is.
as it goes along. So that's the thing that you have to get in this day and age. um Algorithm reward consistency, right? And
Right.
be consistent. So you have to bring out churn, a lot of work. The more you throw, the more you get to be told by Facebook. They say, hey, we noticed that you've been putting a lot of content, therefore we've increased your visibility to 10,000 people, or a
Okay.
larger. So these are what you're looking for. I think those are the affirmations you want to get in terms of the social media. Also, the gig economy, Uber, Etsy, Patreon.
Okay.
Those are also some of the other things that you want to you'll go into, and want to put all efforts. But with Uber, I think some people, one thing about Uber, even in Kenya, they used to misuse Uber um a lot, the drivers. So when you work 12 hours, the app
Mm-hmm.
stops, and then it stops for about 8 hours, and then lets you start after 8 hours. So they want you to rest. So they can't,
Mm-hmm.
because when they started in Kenya, people used to run it 24 hours. So
Well, I know there's certain time frames that are like more lucrative than others, and right, because it's like, oh, this is
when you
even
turn
more money.
no, if you turn it on at 8 it'll stop. So if you come in at 10, it stops at
Oh,
10. Then
I don't know how it works, but I just
that's what
seen
they
on
do.
TV that like, oh, if
Yeah,
this has a higher cost or something like that. So
peak hours.
yeah,
Those,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's one of the things that people, like, you want to make more money out of a product that's out there. Then they have to bring in these regulations to make sure everyone is standardized
Mhm.
on it. Yeah, but I think with the digital age, we still have this same old thing that we want to try to be the best at our work. And I think that uh, there's a class I'm taking right now which
Okay.
talks about work river. It's your career river. So you kind of look at yourself as a career, and then you put in your career, and then you judge your career as to how many steps you've made and what you feel about yourself,
Mhm.
until the point where you're at right now. It's a bit complex. It's thrown me off a little bit there too. But you try and figure out when you started, like maybe you started a job at a grocery store, and then now you're a CEO, right?
Mhm.
You try to measure yourself and see, did I go with a corporate ladder, as in you climb up, or you went with a corporate river where you could be an editor, you become
Mm.
editing manager, then you become a consultant in the media industry. And see, that's like, you may call that a river, which is
Or lateral, right?
yeah, lateral, but you're still
Mhm.
enjoying what you were doing. And it's kind of trying to find what is your comfort zone, and are you having enough time, work life balance, or are you enjoying yourself and what you do. Pretty interesting class, by the way.
That is interesting. And shout out to the chat. If you want to take a second to.
So we have the MPN network. Pew, pew, pew. Al is in the building. So Al says, "Pull up your socks, Jen." Ha ha ha. Well, mine the British version of bootstraps. Type.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Jen, all these things that you do, it does come with a mental and emotional cost to it, and I'd
Yes.
like you to speak on that, because I think that's one of the areas that I think we need to touch, because people need to know whatever you're doing, it has an effect on you. For anything, oh, by the way, I like this thing. I always tell myself, for anything you gain, you must lose something in return. The question,
Okay.
at what cost?
Okay. Yes. So there is I guess, effect to the mental and emotional, with our topic about the side hustle mentality, and is burnout, is this heading towards burnout? So this part of what we looked up touches on this invisible toll, the anxiety, the burnout, the normalization of exhaustion as an ambition. So and this one I thought was really interesting: is liberation sustainable if it mirrors the same capitalist systems that oppresses us? I was like, yikes. Sheesh. So yeah, I was like, whoa, I was kind of taken aback by that one. But that's the thing, in your thoughts on this invisible toll, I guess, having a side hustle in actuality, I do. And I'm, trying to get better at it. It's a lot of work. You know what I mean? We call it like a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9. You know what I mean? So, because you're always trying to work on this other thing that you are, committed to, and you have invested in, you have money on the line, you're trying to make money. And this is in addition to the podcasting and blogging and, keeping up with social media to, keep the podcasts, in light and all of that. When you're talking about a real business, a side business that you're trying to flourish, and then you're still trying to like cook dinner for the family, and, be committed to your organizations if you are a member of organizations. I, have let some of my organization memberships slide when I feel horrible about it. But, it's like with all the things, something has to give. So it's definitely, burnout and exhaustion. And guilt wasn't on the list, but there's some guilt with that. Oh my God, look, I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and every time I run into a soror, and they're like, oh, you're going to Boule? Are you going to? And I'm like, I ain't going nowhere, child. I need, I need to. And look, so there's some, feelings of guilt with that. Everybody, you got to pay this one, you got to pay that one, subscriptions. If you sell, you got to have a seller's license in your state. You got to file certain forms. You don't file them on time, you get a fee. You got to pay your late fee. Look, okay. Like, don't even get me started. My anxiety is already starting to, yeah.
The hardest thing, and I have difficulty in that, is the number of hats I have right now that I don't want to write down. If I ever write down a list of all the things that I'm supposed to do, or where I belong to, I look and sometimes I wonder, I'm like, how am I able to do this? And the thing that makes me go through it is like there are always breaks in between, and somehow it works out. Like last week I was really tired, and this week it's fall break, so nothing is happening. So we're gonna rest for this week and then get ready to start next week, and bang, until the end of the year. So it works out in the end. But you're right, there's that emotional and emotional toll that these things will have on you. And yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot. And let me say hi to the people who are joining us on TikTok. Hey guys, welcome. We're talking about hustling in our daily lives. So if you're on TikTok, just join us, leave some comments, share, and we are happy to have you. Also, if you are on the East African Excellence Clubhouse group, welcome to the show, YouTube, and also Facebook. Or TikTok. We're out. Not TikTok, or this is X. Yeah, I keep saying Twitter. All right, everybody's welcome. You guys just hang in there, and this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about the side hustles. Jen, continue, Jen.
Yes, side hustle culture, is it creating burnout? Is it burning us out? So whether you have an actual side hustle or other things that you are committed to in addition to your main 9 to 5, you may relate to these feelings of anxiety and exhaustion with trying to balance everything. what happens when the passion becomes pressure. This creating quite a bit of pressure for individuals. So having a balance is important. So we kind of want to wrap up the conversation with talking about the balance part that Sambaza will share on from this mentality.
Wow. Building. Do you think workaholism works? There's a workaholism. Is there somebody who's a workaholic when they told you you're a workaholic?
Do I think it's
there
good or does it exist?
Does it exist or it's a myth?
I guess it's a mindset.
I think if you get into a job and you're not sure, of your job, if you work so many hours and put so many hours into the job, I think at, let's say, 6 months into, or maybe a year, you will get the idea of what the job entails and what you need to do in the job better than somebody else who works the 8 to 5. If you put 8 to 8 on that particular job, you learn more things than the person. The hours will matter; they'll count towards the end. So I think that's when workaholism becomes at least something that you can live with and say, hey, I was doing it to learn the job, to be on the job and be perfect on the job. After that, then yes, now it becomes detrimental to your health and everything else. So jumping on to finding out if the balance and finding out a balance or solutions to this hustle game and pulling up your socks. You have to kind of figure out your rest and to incorporate rest as resistance. And this is a theme that has been inspired by the NAP ministry. Is it Tricia Hersey work? I believe this is a book that we are, or this is is it a website that we can go to, or is it a book?
I don't know. That was brought up as a reference.
It may be a book. I think it's a book or something.
Okay.
Then there's also rest and reflection as revolutionary acts in spaces where productivity is prized over peace. Then there's community healing, creating spaces for rest and care among creators and entrepreneurs. Man, community healing. That's what we're doing this weekend. We're going to heal the community, even though we're going to be crying over the way our community is going to change for a little bit. But I think that was and is still going to be a way of us healing the community, because I think with this, I think I can speak for the podcasting industry. With us, we work so hard for the whole year, and then once this year, and that's this particular in October, we get in, we hang out, we meet people, and we're like, oh, what have you been doing since last year? Oh, what's the new thing? Hey, let's collaborate. Oh, you're new. Yes, this is what it is. Hey, welcome to the podcasting industry. Oh, this is what I learned in this year. So I think that part where you talk about community healing, it's more of a you take a back, the work takes a back burner, and then you now meet up, even though it's work related. It's more like you are having fun on this at this time.
Yeah, for sure.
But not least is we have to ask ourselves, how can we model sustainable success for others, especially the young creatives that are watching us? I think that's very important, because as we work hard in doing what we're doing, and especially, a lot of people see us here and they'll be like, oh, wow, these guys have created the show. They've been here. They come out, everything looks clean and working, even though we have our hiccups here and there a little bit. There's some work that goes behind it. And somebody has to get in, search a topic, do all that. All those things make a full circle to come to this Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to make this show work for 1 hour, where we churn out all this information, then we create clips and then put it out there for people to see, play around with SEOs and all that. So we have to model how we work to the younger generation. We have to also curate the way we do our work, so that they can see that, hey, it is it is a job that can be done in podcasting. There's a job that can be done in podcasting. Podcasting is not just throw the mic and do whatever. No, you can create a career out of it.
Right.
There's so many things that can come, and there's value in it with the information that you're
Sure.
putting out there, because we do research all this information and come and give it to you. And whoever's out there, we appreciate you listening. And for you to come and listen, you must have figured out that there's something of value and of substance that we give out to you. So that's the impression that the young ones should get from us, and then also learn to derive the same thing and send it out to other people.
For sure. I would add to use, resources and tools that are available to you to, simplify your processes. I think everyone can benefit from that. We talked about on the last few episodes, or incorporating AI. If you are a podcast creator, there's so many different ways that you can utilize AI, whether it's in the editing process, or creating outlines and the upfront research part, or even with the show notes. There's just so many different ways to simplify, even making the clips. It's technology that it will literally, you just upload your file and
You be going hard on that Sora.
Look, well, I know I need to deal with Sora, right? Shout out to Sora AI, holla at your girl. But shout out to Opus Clips, who we do have an affiliate. Hello, check the show notes for the affiliate. Yeah, and it's really simplified. So, I was literally making like clips by hand, like before using Opus Clips, because I was like, let me think about this Opus Clips thing. Like, wait a minute. I literally, well, we're not going to say, but no, like it's time consuming. To sit there and try to chop up, without using these resources. So if you look at the resources, a lot of them don't all cost. I mean, that one does, but I feel like it's definitely worth it, and, worth the money, and you feel like you'll make the money back for what you're saving in effort and time. Like, oh my God, can you imagine? I spent so much time making manual clips. I could just start crying right there alone. But yeah, there's so many resources and tips and tricks and, things that really will make your life easier. And there's some things that is out there, like even when we had shout out to West Virginia
podcast.
Uncommonplace. Is it Jay? No, what's his name?
Is it Jay Moore?
No, that's my friend. This is a comedian actor. No, okay, you know what I'm talking about. But shout out to West Virginia Uncommonplace. So he was sharing with us about scheduling your content. There's so many different sites that you can actually, if you have making your clips, have it scheduled, and boom, 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 and they will all go out. I haven't gotten there yet with it, but I mean, it shaves time off to have something like an Opus Clips where, okay, at least the clip is done. And what's cool about it, I didn't even notice this at first, is that it grades you. It grades the content, and it actually gives you a little grade on like these different categories. So I don't know if you noticed that when you have to go all the way in and check out the grade, but it grades your content.
I think I'll go check it out. It's very interesting. I haven't gone to. I use Meta, the Meta function, which it helps me put all the clips out there, schedule them for the rest of the week, so I have my clips.
So you can upload whichever file, and that's a scheduler. Okay,
the information there, and then just sit and wait, and then they'll come out everything. I even go and schedule in LinkedIn and stuff like that. So all the topics are there, and you just sit and wait till the next week for the next show and keep going.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. We need to use this. We need to use these other functions for the programs, like like you say, Grammarly, Opus Clips, Chat GPT, Sora. We can name plenty of them. that you should be able to use and grants you more time to yourself and to be able to do other things and hustle up.
Definitely.
So, Jen, was there anything else you wanted to add as we wrap up today?
JR. That's his. You were close. You said J Moore. It's JR Sparrow. Okay, shout out to JR Sparrow from West Virginia on Commonplace. So
yeah,
I had
so
to go.
what do we have to say? We're trying to wrap up here as we get ready for our Afros and Audio, our final 7th and final Afros and Audio.
You're so silly.
Can't wait to see you over the weekend. We're gonna hang out and hey, follow us on Instagram and all on our socials. You're gonna be on Walk by Accident. You use Walk by Accident officially, right? So Walk by Accident and Sambaza podcast. Follow us there. We'll be throwing in our stuff.
Yeah, we need to try to go live out there.
You think? Yeah, we can do a live. Actually, we can do a live. We'll probably do a live on TikTok. A TikTok live there.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, if you're on TikTok, check us out. We'll probably throw in some things on this weekend regarding what we're doing. It's going to be fun. So many podcasters are going to be there, so we'll hang out and just go ahead and join us. If you're in Baltimore, you don't have an excuse of not coming there. So yeah, I'm going to take it up on all y'all people who are in Baltimore to show up. Jen, are you ready to go home?
For sure. So yeah, this has been a good conversation. We appreciate the ones that have joined us. The audio episode will be out soon. Yeah, and I just really, want people to value themselves, in light of our conversation about is the side hustle culture burning us out. We definitely don't want people to sit there and suffer in silence. There are resources, there are things to simplify your process, even digital assistance and things like that you can reach out to, or if you need someone to talk to, there is resources for that as well. So we appreciate you joining us, and we hope that you found our conversation inspiring and enlightening. If you found it meaningful, we invite you to share it with others. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. So with that, we will say
bye-bye.
See you later. Take care. At this time, we're going to go ahead and conclude the episode. We greatly appreciate you listening. We invite you to follow us on social media. On Instagram, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. On Twitter, it is Woke by. On Facebook, it is Woke by Accident Podcast. We also have the new website up, www.wokebyaccident.net. Please check us out. And also follow us on all of your favorite streaming platforms. And please leave a review and share feedback. You can also reach out by Gmail, wokebyaccident@gmail.com. And every time you listen, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for listening, and take care.